It was December 16, 1950, at 8:37 p.m., that you might say all hell broke loose. At that minute, he came into the world without a whimper or a cry. It was not one of those kicking and screaming births. Not at all. The newborn baby was strangely quiet and barely alive. He struggled for every breath, and he fought to live. All this was told to him in a story by his mother many years later. It was in his early teen years when she told him how he was born, and then she revealed that she believed he was alive because God had a plan for his life. From that day on, he took to heart the story of that night when he was born. And now, so many years later, after years of wonder, searching, and growing his faith, he has come to understand that this night in 1950 was the beginning of his angel story. This is the angel story of a lad named William, who discovered his guardian angel. Through that realization, he began a lifelong journey of discovery, purpose, and fulfillment that has led him here today. Before we continue, I have a confession to share with you. This guardian angel story is not fiction. This angel story is not about someone else. This guardian angel story is my story. I share my angel story with you as a witness to God's messengers, his angels, who come to us to guide us, help us. And in my case, God sent his angel to heal me. God gives his messengers to bring us a marvelous plan for our lives. God angels come to us as instruments to awaken us to the truth of God and open our minds and hearts to larger things, more spiritual things in life. I share my angel story with you in hopes that you will be helped in your search and your connection with your guardian angel, and also God's close presence, God's love, and his plan for your life. Through my story, I pray you will find your story about God's angels, his heavenly messengers sent for you and to reveal God's will for your life. As I revealed in the opening of my angel story, began on the day of my birth many years ago, actually over 72 years ago, in December 1950, just 9 days before Christmas. I came to know and believe my angel story, not through any first-hand experience, because at my birth, I was just too young and too little to understand and even think about angels, let alone get to know my guardian angel. I was born 2.5 months early, and the only thought in my feeble little mind was staying alive. I owe my angel story to my mother, a woman of deep faith in the Lutheran Church. All through my young years, she nurtured my faith, and she taught me as my Sunday school teacher. She taught me the stories of God and Jesus Christ. I am thankful to the medical team at the hospital that delivered me and never stopped working to keep me alive. And even the nurse that night in the delivery room who quickly baptized me just in case. And finally, I am grateful for my pastor who rushed to the hospital that night and baptized me a second time. More about that double baptism in just a moment. And also, the most important healer of all, I am grateful to my guardian angel, whom I have come to know and love and depend on over the years. This angel sent by God was a strong source of my healing and has the name I came to learn later, the name God Heals. I believe that everyone at the hospital on that night of my birth played a role in my life, both literally and spiritually, from the moment I took my first struggle breath. My story actually began as I remember my mother telling me that I was supposed to be born sometime around the late days of February. But I guess I had other plans, and I came into the world on December 16th. Now, in our world today of high-tech neonatal intensive care, a premature baby stands a very good chance of survival and living a long and healthy life. Even one born premature like I was. But I was born a long time before today's tech stuff. And the only extra support that I had and the doctor had to me on that night of my birth was an incubator pumping 100% oxygen into my little lungs. My mother told me many years later that my birth weight was only 2 pounds, 2 ounces, and my lungs were barely developed. I couldn't cry. I could just barely breathe. In fact, my mother said later on that I was purple when I came out. She said, when I tried to cry, I sounded like a squirrel that was barking in a tree. I really needed some special help that first night. And now, after all these years of learning, growing, and discovering deeper spiritual things, I believe I had all the help I needed, both medically and from the angels. All the help that I'd ever need for my life. The hospital quickly called my pastor, and he rushed on over to the delivery room, and he baptized me a second time. Now, my mom chuckles every time she told me just before he did the second baptism, the pastor sternly scolded the nurse for doing his work of the sacrament. I guess he thought I needed 2 baptisms, perhaps a sign of things to come for this little purple 2 pound, 2 ounce baby boy. As I grew up healthy and strong, my mom kept reminding me all throughout my school years that God must have something really special planned for me since I survived that birth and I came out okay. She never told me that she thought that special thing was, but I think her faith helped her trust that God would reveal his plan when the time was right. Have you ever wondered if God has a plan for your life, something special in store for you? Think about that. I hope you search for the answers to your purpose and your big why. Mom kept telling me this story of God and me, and for many years, I didn't think much about it. What she did, though, was pump up my wonder about all this God stuff. She planted seeds of faith, and she kept feeding my curiosity for spiritual understanding and wisdom about God. Another chapter of my angel story happened one bright and sunny afternoon as my mom and I were walking up our street toward the elementary school. I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade at the time. We were crossing the street in front of the school when I saw this old man slowly coming toward us. Then out of the blue, he stopped us in the middle of the street. He took a long, hard look at me. He had this smile on his face and this twinkle in his eyes. He recognized my mom, who I thought he knew because she was a nurse in the same hospital where he practiced. He focused his attention, and with that wry smile of his, he said to me, "There you are, my miracle baby." Now, think about that statement for just a minute. A long-time medical doctor steeped in medicine and science calling me his miracle baby. If there ever was a spiritual connection made between science and faith, it was from him that day. That was a day I will always remember. As the years went on, I kept all of these memories close in my mind. I began to seriously ask myself, what does all this mean for me? Does God have a big plan for my life? What would a doctor give such a witness and call me his miracle baby? I had so many questions and not a whole lot of answers. What exactly did happen after I was born that helped me not only survive my birth, but thrive and grow in my faith and discover my life purpose? The final piece of the puzzle, or my awakening, happened A little over 15 years ago, I was living a few miles east of my hometown, and I'd been searching for a long time for a way to uncover God's plan for my life and the answer to my deep questions of why am I here? What's the purpose of life? One day I made an appointment at this spiritual retreat center where the staff was trained and equipped to act as spiritual guides and teachers for God's messages given to help connect folks with their angels. They had God-given gifts, like the prophets of the Old Testament. They were bearers of God's message for the people. The message from God that was given to me that day. And His message answered all my questions. After a bit of small talk, the prophet or guide looked at me and said, "I have a message for you about your birth." Now, in our warm-up chat, I had not even spoken to anyone, let alone this person, about my birth. It was a private story, only known by my doctor, my mother, my pastor, and me. This person that afternoon told me the detailed story of my miraculous birth, my 2 baptisms, my premature delivery, and how I was so small, my mother mistook me for a piece of medical equipment back then called a bulb syringe. The bulb on the syringe was purple in color. And since I was born without a whole lot of oxygen, I was purple. She mistook me right there in the delivery room. This was an amazing prophetic moment. In that visit, I was told plainly that I had a guardian angel at my birth who healed me, and my guardian angel's name was Raphael. Since that time of prophecy, the many fragmented chapters of my life began to fit together. Pieces of the puzzle coming together into a marvelous scene of my life. I began to understand God's story of my faith and God's calling for the rest of my life. I did talk to my angel, and I sought a message from God through him. I grew more relaxed, feeling protected by Raphael, and I grew in my believing that God sends us heavenly messengers to guide us, teach us, help us, and even heal us along the way. I truly believe that God has an angel and a message for you today. If you are still searching for your answers to your big questions like why are you here and what is your purpose in life, then seek out God and ask an angel message. It can make all the difference for you. I began to study about angels and began to see why Raphael as a guardian angel made real sense for me. Raphael is the archangel of healing. And in fact, Raphael, the name means God heals. God sends Raphael to humans that are in serious and in special need of God's healing power to come upon her person for a purpose and a plan. My mother's stories, the doctor witnessed in the middle of the road, my 2 baptisms, and feeling called this past 45 years to lead folks on the spiritual journey, and now me as a pastor and a clergy, and today creating videos on my angel channel to give the world something good and godly to make us better and more faithful as we serve our Lord and love our neighbors is my purpose. You know, it makes an important difference in your life when you realize and trust that God gives you messengers and that God loves you enough to give you a special purpose for your life. This is my angel story. I hope it helps you trust God more with your life and your future. Believe in your angel, trust your angel, and do everything you can to stay close to God's heavenly messengers. And this is why I gave birth to my channel, Connect with Your Angel. Now, if you click the link in the description, or if you're watching this on YouTube and you click the link in the top comment, I want to give you a gift. It's an angel guidebook, a book free for you today. I'm dedicated to keeping my connection to God strong with the help of my guardian angel. I also want to continue to witness to others about the truth of God's love and His angels. So God bless you. I'll see you in my channel, and please subscribe if I've helped you today. Let me know in the comment section if you have a guardian angel, and if you know your guardian angel's name. And if you don't know your guardian's angel, just say, help me, and I'll be in touch with you. God bless you. This is Reverend Bill from ConnectWithYourAngel.com. Thanks for watching today's video. I'd like to ask you to do one more thing, if you would, please. I'd like to ask you to leave a comment. Leave a comment below. Let me know. Do you know your guardian angel, and how has your guardian angel helped you in your faith to feel God's love and presence? And what is your guardian angel's name? Leave a comment if you would. And also I'd like to ask you to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next video. And down below in the description you'll see a link for you to click to receive my free angel Q&A report. The link is found at connectwithyourangel.com/report. Just click that link. Share your contact info and I'll get my download report for you right away. Thanks for watching. Hope this angel videos helped you today. This is Reverend Bill McBride from Connect with Your Angel channel. Take care.